So that's when he was guilty of he was found guilty of the actions that occurred during his term as Secretary of State.
No, I think he had it was more than that. I mean, what prompted it was these kids dying in that car accident when he was Secretary of State, but I think there was more to it, if I'm right.
As I recall, the conviction flowed over into his term
as governor. Yeah.
Because it's his chief of staff that really brought it down, and unfortunately, they brought the gavel down on the chief of staff and they told him that if you don't cooperate with us, we're going to be ended up not only sending you to prison, but we're going to send your fiance to prison.
Yeah, right. What's his name?
Scott Faywell.
Faywell, yeah. Let's take a call from Eunice and see how Eunice is doing this morning. Good morning, Eunice.
All prayers with you.
Yes, Attorney Z. Scott. Attorney Z. Scott, former prosecutor. Well, we've kind of talked about it, Eunice, and we wanted to move on. We had talked about this, and since it's been decided, it happens in the Supreme Court. I mean, you look at all the 5-4 decisions you get at the Supreme Court. You got the same law, the same set of facts, and yet different decisions. And that's kind of over with. I don't. It happens. It happens in the law. That different judges will interpret the law differently. The same law. That's what's so crazy about the law. Joe, you're listening to the Borges Report. Joe? What numbers? What numbers? Okay. We're familiar with 666, but where does 666, what numbers? Okay. Okay. All right. Thanks, Joe, for the lesson in numerology.
Well, we have numbers. I can give you some of this year. We've had 1111. Yeah. We had 11111.
So said any number of mathematical. Well, anyway, so much for numerology. Yeah. We're going to take one more caller, and then we'll talk about some other things. Good morning, Tommy. Tommy, appreciate that. We're gonna go in the National Archives.
All right.
Huh?
What about the luxury
Thanks for those
tax
nice things,
that Rahm Emanuel was proffering or offering as a way to close the deficit here in the city? And Jerry Chico saying that that's going to be hard on everybody, you know, as far as haircuts. I mean, limousines, I can see it, and luxury jets, haircuts. Two of us here at this table do not have to worry about the haircut part, but
Streaming live, you'll see who that is.
Well, first of all, haircut is considered to be a luxury.
it appears to be, according
Well,
to...
yeah, I think he
well-
also stated that there are some other items that are excluded from sales tax, and he
Pet
talked
grooming.
about spreading out the sales tax onto other items, which we could lower the overall sales tax. So I think that could possibly be. We need to get more information on that, though.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about, well, Mandela,
Yeah.
who was sick, and I guess he went into the hospital, gave everybody a scare.
He has been
And
released.
he has been released, so well wishes to President Mandela and his family. So there are a lot of things happening over there. I mean, Egypt.
Tunisia.
Tunisia.
I have an issue. The press continues to refer to that as the Middle East, and it's clearly in the continent of Africa. At best, they should refer to as North Africa.
Right.
If they want to discern between us West Africans, you know, it's just kind of a misinformation that goes
Yeah.
under the wire that,
Yeah.
you know, disconnects African people from
Right.
African people.
Right, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, you know, typically we're sub-Saharan or West Africa, but yeah, that is on the continent of Africa.
Oh,
Tunisia
clearly.
And Egypt.
And Egypt, clearly.
Without a doubt.
Yes.
You know, a lot of other things are happening throughout the world. We had a death of the Marvelettes. She's one of the co-founders of the Marvelettes, right?
Yes, right. We grew up
Now, did
on.
they sing that, My Baby? No.
No, no.
What did they sing? What was their song?
I think
Postman?
Yeah, Mr. Postman.
Please, Mr. Postman. Yeah, she passed away, I think, in her 60s.
Yes.
Certainly.
You
You
know,
were
she
old
started
enough.
at 15.
Mark
Yeah.
might be too young to remember the Marvelettes, but
Well, no, I mean, maybe when they started, but I certainly know their music now.
Those strains.
hey.
That's part of the soundtracks of our lives. You know, the Motown
What's her
sound.
name? What was her name? You have that?
I used to compete to that music.
You used to compete doing what?
Roller skating. I was a
Oh, really?
competitive roller skater.
Oh,
growing up. So
Her name was Gladys Horton,
Gladys Horton.
and
yeah,
she was the co-founder of the Marvelettes.
She
who
brought a lot of
helped,
great music to us, and I certainly grew up on that music.
I had always thought that Smokey Robinson, "You Better Shop Around" was the first #1 hit, but it's probably not the first one. But it almost broke
You mean
Motown.
#1 on all the charts, not just the,
Yes, right.
not just the soul chart.
Not just the soul chart.
Yeah.
It almost broke Motown because, you know, the demand of the records almost brought the company under, because they could not meet the demand initially.
Really?
When they had to
Well,
step
I
up.
remember it quite well.
Success can bring you under if you're not prepared.
That
for it.
was the Miracles,
Yes.
not Smokey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smokey Robinson and the Miracles
Don't-
with his
yeah,
wife
just-
Claudette.
Right.
if you
Yeah.
wanna be-
Exactly. Art, you're listening to the Borges Report. Great. How are you?
Well.
first of all, what he's implying here is that everybody who cast a vote for Rahm Emanuel is unintelligent. And I think that this rhetoric that keeps being fueled without any facts, and everybody has a right to their opinion, but if you're going to take a political position, or if you're going to take an opinion about one person over another person, state it with some facts. You know, there's an undertone, and I'm going to continue to say it, nobody else wants to say it, there's an undertone here that I think is more on the anti-Semitic side, as opposed to the facts of whether Rahm Emanuel is a credible person, whether he's a capable person, or running for mayor. If you don't like him, then you vote for somebody else. But to suggest that other people are not intelligent because they cast a vote for him, I think is off basis.
Okay. Okay, we've got to move on. Thanks for your call. All right, but why do you say anti-Semitic? Why do you? I mean,
because I hear this conversation, you know, in the public every day. People have these private conversations, and the first thing they come out and say to me is that, you know, them Jews get together. I never hear that about any other candidate who is running, or those
black
Christians,
folks,
or those.
You saying black folks don't do that with Carol Mosley or with?
Nobody has ever brought
candidates?
up her.
I mean, people talk about the
faith.
black candidate.
They talk about her hair and how she looks and everything else that's not relevant to her ability.
But don't you think people say the black candidate? I mean, the black consensus candidate, so forth. I mean, I think people tend to label. You know, they talk about the Irish mafia. I think they do it for all candidates. People tend to the Hispanic candidate.
I have not heard the attacks in private, because people don't. They're not going to say it publicly,
Right.
or they're not going to say it on the air. And I'm just addressing things that people address to me. When they talk about Rahm, they talk about him being a Jew. They don't talk about Carol Mosley Brown.
Is that widespread or just
They don't
instances?
talk about Carol being black, or you don't think that the majority race that they talk about black?
What about
Listen,
Chico
I
and
get a-
Duvalier? They don't talk about them
Hispanic?
being
Sure they do.
Latino?
Sure they do.
Well, you know, we're talking about, that's their ethnicity. You're talking about a man's faith beliefs here, that they're attacking and saying that he is not a person that should be trusted because of his faith belief. And I think that has absolutely nothing to do with a person's ability to either run for a public office or serve in a public office, whether it's Carol Mosley Braun, Gary Chicos, or Duvalier, or Rahm Emanuel. I mean, and this person to come on and suggest that anybody who is intelligent knows not to vote for Rahm. So
But that wasn't. I don't see where you get the anti-Semitic out of what he said.
because that's what I hear. That's what I hear in private. But I hear that all the time in private.
Okay. Okay, we're going to take Emma. You're listening to the Borges Report.